No more over editing Pinterest pins. Stop over editing your Pinterest pins. Do not over edit your Pinterest pins. Hi, this is JJ. Welcome back to my channel. So I recently came upon the realization that not enough of us content creators are aware of the fact that Pinterest is a machine. Just like Google and YouTube that are search engines, we need to be creating our content so our content are optimized for the machines to deliver our content to our target market. If you want to know more about how to speak the language of the machines so your content shows up in search traffic, stay tuned to the other side. So real talk, I am obsessed with this new social media platform called Clubhouse, and I'm learning a lot about my industry. I'm learning a lot of gems and insights and tips and links to resources that I never knew existed before. But also while I'm on this platform, and my next video is going to be about my experience on Clubhouse. So if you want to know what that app is about and what's going on, stay tuned for my very next video. I'm going to talk about it. Anyway, I am in rooms where people are talking about YouTube and Pinterest, and people are also talking about, social and digital marketing, which I do. And one of the things I'm finding out is that a lot of people are coming on stages and asking questions of these thought leaders, of these folks in the industry, and they're asking questions. And based on the questions they're asking, they're essentially saying that I want to use let's say Pinterest, let's say YouTube. I'm going to use a social media platform, and it's not working, and I'm finding I'm not getting the reach, I'm not getting the audience, I'm not getting the repins, I'm not getting the conversions. What am I doing wrong? And from the questions and the way people frame the questions, it made me understand that not enough people know to put in mind and change your mindset when you are delivering content, and realize that these search platforms, Google, YouTube, Pinterest, are engines, they're machines. So when you're creating content and you say, I have this amazing piece of work that I want to sell, I have this amazing blog post, or I have this wonderful podcast series that I want to promote, and everyone should listen to it because it's the best thing. People say, I have the best content. Sure you do. But you can have the best content, and if people, aren't searching for your content, you're not going to get it. So the first thing you need to do, sadly, is you got to think of the machine first, then do the content, and then go back to the machine. The content has to be sandwiched between the two machines. Stay tuned to the end because I have a piece of bonus content for you. What do I mean by that? Machine first. The first thing is there's a thing called SEO, which is search engine optimization. You really have to treat Pinterest like an engine. So people go to Pinterest because they're looking for ideas, DIY. They're looking for recipes. They're looking for outfits. They're looking for table decoration ideas for their upcoming event. And so they search. That you have to look at the keywords. So go first into your keyword research. The easiest way to do that on Pinterest is to type a search and start typing in the words, and it's going to auto-populate some keywords for you. It's like a no-brainer. It's the first thing you do. So before you actually do the content, make sure it's something that people are searching for. And when you reach there, you can look at other pieces of content that's already showing up in search. That'll give you an idea of what's common, and then also how to differentiate yourself. I said 2 videos ago that you need to differentiate yourself in order to go viral. You need to do what people are looking for, but also find a way to differentiate yourself to increase the likelihood that your content will go viral and people will see it. So that is the machine, the keywords. The second part of the machine that you need to think about before you start doing it is analytics. So if you've been doing this for a while, you have analytics. Analytics are essentially the metrics and the language telling you, here's what's done well before, here's what content. If it's a video, for example, I do YouTube videos. I know at some point people watch my videos, they may watch it for a certain period of time, and at some point there's a dropout. So that's up to me to study those analytics and say, okay, people watch this minute, on average, they watch this much minutes of my videos. So my videos need to be this minute or shorter, because anything longer is not doing as well. So you have to pay attention to the language of the analytics. So that's the second thing you do. First, you do the optimize your keywords, then you do the analytics. That's the machine. Then now you know the analytics tell you what works well, and the keyword tells you what people are searching for. Then you create your content tailored to that, because you need to speak the language of the machine. And then you create amazing content. You do the most wonderful pen when you're done with your content. And then after that, then before you hit publish, before you hit that button, that send button, to start that, to publish that video into YouTube, to create that content, the piece of blog article that you want to go through the Google search before you share that pin, that you want that pin to go through the Pinterest algorithm and drive traffic back to your website. You need to optimize it. Optimize your content, optimize your video, optimize your Pinterest pin. And the way you do that, the first thing you need to do is make sure you have the keywords in your title, the keywords inside the first few 20 seconds of your video, if it's a video, or within the first 3 lines of your blog post, if it's your blog, and then also within the first 3 lines of description, if it's a pin. So you have to have the keywords in your pin. The second thing you might want to do is consider doing hashtags. Not all platforms represent hashtags. And for Pinterest, for example, sometimes they recognize hashtags, other times they don't recognize hashtags. So they go back and forth. But to be safe, I always say put at least 2 or 3. And you definitely should put them in YouTube and other social media platforms. Then also you can put the keywords in the description. Objects that are on the blog post or in your thumbnail. Your pin should have the words, because now in the 21st century, 2020 and beyond, there are machines that actually read and scan the words on your page. And so they're speaking. So you're speaking the language. Before you could only do it through text. Now they're actually reading the pin. And so they know what's on your pin. They know. So whatever it is that you decide that's based on the keywords research, based on your analytics research, based on the actual content, your actual pin, your actual video, your actual blog post has to have all of those terms in it, because you're telling the machine that that's what this post is about. That's what this video is about. That's what this pin, or that's what the content behind this pin is about. So once the machines are aware of that, then when someone searches it for you, they say there's a term that, I was on one of these. Daryl Eves was on inside a couple of clubhouse rooms I was in, and he said 75% of the content the machines deliver the people to you. So the way you get the machines to pick you is you have to optimize your content for the machines. Once they then deliver you to the audience, it's up to you and your content to be amazing. So that's my bonus tip. My bonus tip is to make sure that your pin is optimized. And please, for the love of God, review. I've been in too many Facebook groups with other Pinterest folks who are blaming the machines and blaming the platforms for their pins not doing as well. When I look at the content that the people are talking about, a lot of times it's trash. I'm sorry, I hate to be, please don't give me no hate dislikes. I need to stop mentioning hate dislikes, because every time I mention hate dislikes, I get them. So it's like I'm drawing that energy. I had to think about that. Anyway, so you have to go, they have tools like Canva. They have tools like PicMonkey. They have things like Photoshop. There's too many other tools where people who do graphic design for a living, you can even go to Fiverr and get someone to create some pins for you. There are too many ways that you can get perfectly well spaced out with just the right use of white space, just the right use of margin, just the right letterings that's already made for you. I see too many people that would take beautiful made for you, done for you pins, templates, and just mess it up. They just go and add too many different things. They over edit it. They change up the stuff, and they take something that was once beautiful and just make it. There's templates for a reason. You could personalize it, but just don't go too crazy. And that's the only thing with Pinterest. Beautiful pins sell, work well. You have to have attractive pins. And the best way to do it is to do a search, and the pins that come up first, the pins that attract you, the pins that you be like, oh, that's beautiful, replicate that success. Use the tools you have. Use your knowledge and awareness of what works to get your pins, to get people to see your content. They're not going to see your content if you can't get it through the machines, if you can't attract them with an attractive pin. So that's my bonus tip, is to use the tools. Canva, PicMonkey, Photoshop, Fiverr, hire someone on Fiverr, whatever it is. There are plenty of them out there, and those are just the ones that I use, and I'll put links down below if you want to get access to them. Use the tools you have, and do not over edit. Do not deviate too far from the base from when you come from, because it's already set up there for you. It's just like if I made a perfect dish, and it's perfect dish for you to eat, and it's well seasoned, everything's great. Oh, look at this, and you come and you come and add a bunch of salt, add a bunch of pepper, and you've just ruined that dish by just doing too much, because you're not the chef. The chef presented a nice dish for you, and you go and just put all your stuff, like the customizer, and you're customizing, and you be like, oh, this is nasty, and you blame the chef. Is it the chef's fault, or is it your fault for over editing? No more over editing Pinterest pins. Stop over editing your Pinterest pins. Do not over edit your Pinterest pin. Anyway, That's all I have for you today. I hope that was helpful for you. Again, just to recap, it's machine, content, machine. It's keywords, analytics, the machine, then do the content based on the analytics and the keywords, and then finally optimize your page so you can have the title, the hashtags, the pin itself or the thumbnail, and then the first few descriptors inside of it. Those should also, all of them speak in the language so the machines will pick your content. Got it? Good. Okay, that was JJ Gad. I thank you very much. I've surveyed you guys and you all said you want to see more Pinterest marketing. I did go off on a tangent and I did an Instagram post because it was a sort of a hot button issue. And then I did something for Shopify, for shops, because it was just relevant and recent for me. And I said I wanted to reach out to me. And then I have another Instagram post, and I'm going to do Clubhouse next. I'm going to do Clubhouse next, come back to Pinterest marketing, and then maybe go back to the Instagram post on Instagram guides. So I'm going to talk about Instagram guides. So there's a preview for my next content. I'm going to do a live in a few minutes about the Instagram, and then I'm going to do another Pinterest marketing post, and then I'm going to do a post about Instagram guides. So that's my schedule. A lot. JJ Gad, like, subscribe if you like what you hear. And I'd like to point out one of my recent comment winner. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you guys for participating in my community. Welcome. And now I'm gonna go address these Instagram people. So this video might be posted after